Good morning. Today is a very special day. It's a Saturday here in the state of Pennsylvania. My name is Tomasio, and we are at a very, very special place where I'm about to share with you something very special that we have discovered here in Indiana, Pennsylvania. And what we have is the stone of Moses. And if you look carefully here, you can see a figure on the stone holding a staff. Okay? You even have pupils intently staring with a staff. And behind him are mountains, hills. Okay, you can see the mountains and the hills, which are just amazing. Now we know, you read in Exodus, that God spoke to Moses on the mountain, and he gave Moses the 10 Commandments. And we have here underneath of the figure of Moses what appears to be 2 tablets. And the stone of the tablets is literally holding up the stone of Moses above. Okay, and as we know in the story, while Moses was on the mountain speaking with God, down below, Aaron was forming a golden calf from the gold, the earrings of the Israelites who were complaining and grumbling when Moses was on the mountain. So we have below here what appears to be some type of a priest, possibly Aaron, instructing, forming, leading into idolatry here, which brought a great deal of trouble on these people, including death. Okay, the golden calf. Now, you see here, in opposition to the golden calf, you see the staff again. The staff of Moses against the golden calf here. When Moses came down from the mountain, he was filled with anger, okay, and he forced the people to drink this, they mixed it with water, they burned it down, and the people had to drink it. And then Moses said, "Who's for the Lord?" The Levites said, "We're for the Lord," and they literally had a civil war right there, and many people died that day, and it was horrible. Okay, so getting back over here to Moses. Now, Moses here doesn't look angry at all, and he's actually looking up. And this, what is he looking at here? We have here Our Lady of Fatima, who is known as the Ark of the New Covenant. Now we know the Ark of the Covenant, the Old Covenant, contained the 10 Commandments, the staff of Aaron, and it contained the chalice that kept the manna. And Mary is known as the Ark of the New Covenant. If you read Revelation 11 into 12, you can see that the Ark of the Covenant turns into a woman clothed with the sun, the moon under her feet. So we have this grotto of Our Lady of Fatima, and you have Moses here literally looking directly at Mary. And 1917, we got the 100-year anniversary of Fatima coming up, and her message at Fatima was return to God, to turn away from the idols, the golden calves, okay, and the false prophets and the false teachers, and that God is in opposition to this idolatry that is actually taking place. So we know Moses appeared on the Mount of Transfiguration to Jesus, when Jesus was on this earth, Moses and Elijah. So, and many have predicted Moses to be one of the two prophets. The law and the prophets give testimony to Jesus Christ, as does Mary. Whenever she appears, she gives testimony that Jesus is God, that he is to be worshiped, that he is to be followed. So she's giving testimony just as Moses gave testimony and Elijah gave testimony. Okay, Elijah was the prophet. So what we have, and you have the children of Fatima here, Lucia, Jacinta, and Francesco. And the message of Fatima dealt with the coming of World War II. That Russia would be consecrated to God, to Mary, to God, and that God would be glorified the most out of Russia. And that's what we see happening here, is Russia is not going along with all the sin and idolatry that's infecting the world. Okay? So you have the Ten Commandments holding the Mosaic stone, the stone of Moses, coming from the mountain. You see the light there of God on top of that mountain, illuminating it, right? You see Moses over here looking really transfixed here at the Ark of the New Covenant, Mary, who had Jesus within her womb. And then you have this confrontation of the golden calf with the staff of Moses, okay? As far as I could tell, this is a confrontation going on here. And then you have the shame, of Aaron and the people who literally rebelled against God after he took them out of the land of Egypt. So, we can look at America right now and what's going on. America was, formed in a Christian nation under God, the Ten Commandments proudly displayed. So in a sense, God formed this country similar. It's similar, very similar to what had happened with Israel. And we have built altars here in America to false gods, Baal, the phallic symbols, the love of money, the love of impotent sex. These are things that have afflicted our society, and we have so many, many, many problems, and there's so many idols that people are worshiping in America today. So we're looking at a situation here where God's going to judge America. Now, Moses interceded before God. He said, God, you can't do this. You can't do this. You led these people out of Egypt and just to kill them, So Moses interceded before God, and God relented on what he was planning to wipe them all out. He didn't wipe them all out. There were a number of them that were lost their life. Let's put it that way. Okay, there were plagues. There were problems as a result of it. There's always going to be some type of punishment. Okay, so we have got to decide: are we going to be like Moses, okay, and intercede for America, and to beg God to have mercy on our country? Are we going to intercede and beg God to have mercy on our country? Are we going to elect someone who is promoting abortion on demand, late-term abortion, gay marriage, uh, really someone who is turning with all she has, everyone, against Christianity, the Ten Commandments, the morality that God established here on the earth. That's what Clinton is doing. And we have Donald Trump, who spoke to a group of Christians yesterday saying he will favor Christianity. He will favor traditional family. He will put pro-life judges in Supreme Court. So it's about doing, it's about doing. And it's not about, he's a sinner. No, it's not about he's a sinner. It's about he's doing. Moses was a sinner too. We know that. We know he was a murderer, really, in Egypt. But he decided that he was going to serve God. And so he interceded before God, and he was a leader, and he was leading the people towards worship of the true God and towards obeying the commandments of God. And so if Trump is leading us in this way, okay, then we can only hope and pray that that America will be spared from the full wrath of God. We can only hope and pray. So I think something is happening, and it's very important that we understand our role as Christians to stand with Moses, to stand with the Ark of the New Covenant, Mary, and to stand for Jesus Christ and for his commandments. So this is fascinating. We are just absolutely amazed. And I know that there will be gatherings here, typically on Monday nights, 7:30 in the summer. So come out and see this fascinating stone of Moses with the whole story of the Exodus and the Ten Commandments and the golden calf right here on a stone. It's very, very fascinating. Just absolutely amazing. And, appears to me to be a sign of what's going on in America today. So thank you. God bless.